So between Silvally and Altaria, who's better? Well, I'm not here to answer that, but to tell you why not put both in a deck. The strength of this deck is that you have a high chance of dealing 100 damage on your second turn. If you go first, you can attack for 100 on the first turn. If you go second, you can either have 2 attackers ready for the third turn or deal some poke damage. Then on your third turn, deal 100 damage. For this video, I'm using Leaf and Mars. But after recording this and playing more with this deck, my preferred choice is just running double Leaf, dropping the Mars. Overall, I think because the strength of this deck is being able to deal 100 damage early, I find that Leaf is very important to give you more starting hands that you can pump that energy with the baby fast. Energy wise, I'm using 2 babies, each to have different energy generations, as well as 3 different starting energies. The main reason for this is that you need 2 different energy types for Altaria to deal 100 damage. You will need to take note of this when you're playing and planning your moves in the game. If you have 2 of the same energies on Altaria, you will end up only dealing 40 damage, which might screw your plans in the game. And at least it will make you, play differently. So watch out for that. That's the only thing. I mean, Silvally, everybody that watches me knows how to play Silvally. If anything, it's pretty straightforward anyways. Alright, anyway, let's get into some games so I can show you the deck. Alright, so we get a good start in that we have Pichu. If you have a baby, always put the baby down. I don't think that needs to be said. We have 2 Swablus in hand, which in general, when you have a baby, if you can, you'd want to put the baby's energy onto Swablu because any energy that you attach from your energy zone would definitely give your Altaria 2 different energy types already. Okay, in this case we got red carded, so we go with type now, which is not too bad, but in this case it's bad because we have Cyrus and Sabrina in hand only. Here the Pichu goes down. Hopefully we draw into a Gladeon because that would guarantee us. Okay, I had some issues with my game, so I had to restart it. Okay, we don't get it, so that sucks big time, but thankfully we don't die here to the Zera aura. We do take damage, which sucks a lot. Okay, so they are forcing us to have 2 things, which is Gladeon and Silvally. Drawing Gladeon will have solved it for us. Okay, great. We draw Silvally, so here we just take out this Zera aura, and they're most likely going to put Raichu into the active next, which for us is not too bad because Raichu takes out this Silvally, but we do have a type now and a Gladeon on the bench, so we are ready to deal 100 damage here, which would mean that Raichu will not be able to attack us on the next turn, basically, because if not, he'll die the following turn. So he has to retreat here and pray I do not have a Cyrus. This is one of the main reasons that I don't like the 3 new dogs. Because yeah, you can draw a card and stuff, but I guess, it works decent with an EX deck, right? 2 price points. But when it comes to a 2/1, yeah, it's not too good. But I'm probably going to record a video on Raichu soon because okay, Suicune is a good deck. The top tier deck right now. But I think I think you know, Raichu is not too bad either with that 10 poke damage. There's some things you can do with it, but yeah, you have to kind of pray a lot of times that your opponent doesn't have a Cyrus. There's not many plays. A lot of the time, there's not many plays you can make where you're not trying to dodge a Cyrus. I feel maybe I'm just not very good at Raichu, but so far that's what's been happening with most of my Raichu games, even against my opponents. So yeah, I think that's that. Yeah, so Sui, but okay, now the meta also has come to a point where Sui-kun is being, you know, countered quite a bit, like single, which I'll come my next video will be about, you know, single attackers, 18 trainer kind of style. Okay, here we start with Swablu, and it's nice, we do have Altaria in hand. I didn't want to put my Pichu down because that gives me sticks up bench space, which adds damage to the Sui-kun. So you have to be careful of bench management with this deck. It's not too bad because you're running two stage ones, which are not insanely hard to get into, but a lot of time you get screwed over because of red cards and masks, and it screws your plans because, you know, you're ready to go into Altaria from Swablu, but you get red carded. Then now suddenly you're on type now with a Silvally in hand. It gets very iffy. So I mean, this card is very susceptible to red card on mask. So here thankfully we have put down our Altaria and we get Silvally, so that was a perfect, I mean, I think a really good red card for us. So here, because the opponent has 6 cards in hand, it's time to mask them, clear their hand a bit, hopefully not let them get into Greninja the next turn. So this deck works nicely against, I think it works very well against Espeon EX decks because of the amount of damage we do and the amount of damage they do, and it's not enough to kill us most of the time. Against a Sui-kun Greninja deck, I think I would say it's more even, but maybe a bit more disadvantaged because a lot of times when Sui-kun does damage to us, we are left with, you know, a little bit of health, a sliver of health. Sometimes they can do 100 damage, right? And because we're not putting a full bench, they can do 80 or 100 damage, and Greninja pokes do make a lot of difference in those games. So it also depends on how early they get their Greninja out. So in this case, we were really blessed in that they just got into Greninja, which is pretty late. It's mid-game-ish, but it's pretty late into the game. So here they don't have a choice. They have to retreat because if not, it's GG there. But that gives us a lot of room to deal more damage. So here we don't have anything else to basically, so we just attack. If Sui-kun comes in, I mean, now I'm not too concerned about bench space at this point. I'm more concerned about, you know, my follow-up plays. So I have put down the type now, and just in case, it gives me a bit more flexibility in the later game when Altaria goes down. But yeah, anyway, the opponent didn't have anything to let me hit without losing points, so that's GG. Okay, another Sui-kun deck. Generally, okay, yeah, because we're going first, it's good to put the Pichu down. If I'm going second, sometimes it goes by my gut feel, I guess. But sometimes I just start with what I have, like a type now. I'll just put it to the active and ignore the Suchun. Sorry, and ignore putting the Pichu out and just keep the Pichu in hand, so that I don't give Greninja you know, 2 free hits to the Water Shuriken and out. Here we start great. We have our Silvally, we didn't get carded. We are able to deal 100 damage now and take out this Froakie. So that 1 point, it makes a lot of difference for us because now we only need a 2-pointer, which whatever they give us is going to be probably what we would be taking out to win the game. So here they have Tina up. which we will be taking Tina out before. Okay, so here I use my bench space because I don't think that Suicune is their main attacker at this point. It seems like it's Tina, and if it's not, I'm ready to I mean, they're not going to take me out the next turn, so most likely not going to take me out the next turn, at least my Silvally. So I have decided to start loading and preparing the second type now. So the maximum damage they can do here, right now, it will be 100 damage if they had 2 more bench Pokemon on their end. Which, yeah, so for us, it's fine. We draw Cyrus and we win the game here. So that's a common theme, even if with Suicune, where the common theme is that you're going to see that these dogs' weaknesses are that you're going to be taking out a 2 price, and because of Oricorio, most people don't run double EXs. There are definitely double EX decks, but I think they are pretty rare with either of the dogs, the new dogs. So here, unfortunately, we don't have Altaria, so, but we know that they shouldn't be able to attack us next turn. So we can just start poking with Swablu first. If we draw out Altaria the next turn, yeah, we can start dishing out the 100 damage. So here again, if you notice my hand, I did not put out Mantyke and Swablu because I don't want to give them additional damage points. So here we draw Silvally, which is decent. That allows us to do a few things, especially with leave in hand. But okay, we draw Altaria, and that's like perfect. Just attack, and we, it's kind of straightforward. That's why I like this deck so much. You don't have to think too much, and your odds are pretty good into getting either into the Altaria, or obviously it's much easier to get into a Silvally because we have Gladeon. So if you were to ask me which Pokemon is stronger, personally, I think Silvally is still a better choice for, I think anything at the end of the day, consistency is king in this game. And yes, it's consistent enough to get into Altaria because it's a stage 1, but Silvally is a stage 1 too, and you get help with Gladeon. So I think personally it's Silvally. But yeah, Altaria is pretty strong too. I'm not saying it's bad, right? I think that's why I think this deck works nicely, because it's just consistency. So here we already have our second Silvally ready to attack. The opponent is at... Oh, actually, I think I lost this game, to be honest. That's what I think I remember now, because the opponent is so good at... And yeah, I think I lost the game. But anyway, so because the opponent was so good at splitting up their damage, that and splitting out their damage and poking me with the Greninja, that this is one of those examples where I was saying that this deck does not do too well. I mean, against a player that knows how to kind of abuse the situation. Right here, why I didn't Cyrus is because I like to make sure that my Cyrus has value, where yes, if I take down some, like if I could take, maybe my mistake here was I should have taken the Greninja out, but this is a really fast deck. So I mean, the opponent's deck is a really fast deck. So at the end of the day, I was trying to take something out and then do the final blow with Cyrus to take out whatever's on the bench that is low. But here the opponent goes, I think the opponent has a leaf, if I'm not wrong here, and that screws me up big time, because now they can start attacking with Suicune. And pretty much, I don't think he does 80 damage this turn because Water Shogun is used. So, but the next turn, as long as I don't get into type now, it's pretty much GG. Okay, so I do get to type now. Let's see. did I win this or lose this? Let me think. Let me see. I'm yeah. Okay, here. And then Greninja pings it, and we take. Okay, we lose because Suicune does 60 damage to this Silvally, and then Greninja kills it basically on the next. Greninja will be able to kill it on the next turn. So I left this loss in here, mainly to show that, you know, okay, and the heal is not too, doesn't make too much of a difference really, but yeah. So I left this here because, you know, if you can kite the 100, 100 damage is not a lot of damage, yet it's like this middle ground, right? It's higher than your standard 80s from most of the like mid-range to energy EXs, but it can be kited. You know, if you have enough Pokemon to go around, it can be kited. Yeah, so that was then an example. But in most games, yeah, okay, to be fair, so in Suicune games, it gets, like I say, it gets really tricky because you have Suicune doing the big damage, but you also have Greninja pinging it. So any deck with Greninja is always going to be a hard deck to play in general. Play against in general. Okay, so here I am in a weird spot because I don't know if Gladeon is going to give me Silvally. Okay, so this is an example. So the red card sucks balls because okay, yeah, I do get Altaria, so that's not bad, and we do get leaf, so we still have options here. I think here I do leaf. All right, yeah, and because I do have Altaria, and I do believe that they're not gonna red card or mask me in this next turn, so I should be fine to just, you know, and because, okay, you want, like I said, you want to pump your energy from your baby onto Swablu because you need that dual energy. So this will guarantee you the dual energy. Okay, so it's good in a way that we are fighting against Melcera because we are not too concerned. The Leafeon might be the annoying part, but it's also good for us because it gives us a 2 prize point if we take it out. Melcera is fine for us because we are not an EX deck. So here we got, I mean, we kind of sacrificed the Mantyke, but we got both, essentially 2 Pokemons ready to attack on the next turn. I mean, we're on the next few turns, so we'll always be ready. Yeah, I put the Silvally down to not get cutted or masked in this case because they use a red card already. They could run a mask, and the Gladeon is just there to power up my Silvally whenever I need it. So it might not be the coming turns, but whenever I need it, yeah. So here it kind of sucks. We have no choice but to just attack the Melcera. Right now we're kind of just hoping to get into a Cyrus because that would guarantee us the Leafeon on the bench, even if he heals, because the heal would be an Erica, the biggest heal they could get. Erica with 50 would be fine for us because that would put Leafeon EX at only 90 health, and we can take that out. So here I use Gladeon, and I think I just... Oh no, I don't use Gladeon, I just mask. Okay, because they had a lot of cards. Okay, because I think I didn't want them to get into the second Melcera. That would be annoying to deal with. If we don't draw Cyrus here, we're just gonna attack. Yeah, we're just gonna attack and take out this Brigatito. Because I don't think using the Sabrina is going to make a difference. And the good thing is that we know that the Leafeon can deal a maximum of, you know, 70 plus whatever modifiers would give them maybe 90 damage. We have 110 health, we should be fine. And that's it would have been GG if they put the Leafeon out anyway. Okay, so another Melcera deck, which is great for us. So there have been a lot more Melcera decks. I'm a bit surprised because I saw some Buzzwole at the start of this expansion, but in the later times, like closer to I mean about how maybe close to a week in, we are seeing less Buzzwole and a lot of Melcera and Celebi, and this Celebi non-EX. Alright, so we are in a weird spot right now because Altaria, okay, this is one of those situations where you see there are 2 psychic energies that I have on my bench. I have 0 babies, so I can't generate any energies. So what I'm doing here is using Altaria to tank the hit, leave out, and then dish come out and deal the damage. And the cool part about this is that the opponent was obviously not anticipating this, right? And they had both energies on the Florigato, which essentially they just surrendered. Okay, here we go against Raichu. Normally Raichu goes with one Oricorio and 2 Magnezones. That's the usual build going around now. In this situation, okay, I mean not that build because they have a Zera Aura, but in this situation, usually because I know that my poke damage. Wait, do I come out with the time now? Okay, I don't because I think I'm hoping to go out with a Swablu, I feel. Not that it actually makes a difference, but I feel that going out the type now, right now would, I mean, if I get lucky, I get the 40 damage and Raichu is in kill range. But I felt that because they're not going to attack this turn, I can kind of get away with pumping energy, building up my entire board, and then attacking this turn. Either way, because Raichu only does 60 damage, so I'm not too concerned about the damage taken in the early stages. Obviously, I don't think it's good if that 60 builds up and you're not able to kill the Raichu for some reason. But without that, we should be able to kill Raichu in 2 hits. There's no other way that they're gonna out-heal that. At least with most common decks, but yeah. So here they don't even they sacrifice Raichu here because they know it's kind of I guess it's kind of pointless to deal the 60 damage and die the next turn. But to navigate this is gonna be so tough for them. Okay, so I do mask it because they do have 8 cards in hand. But to navigate around this, they have to put Arceus in the active. I guess they do need an Ilima. If not, it's pretty much GG anyway, and everything he's doing now is just stalling for time. Which I'm not sure what could save him, to be honest. Okay, so the cape there is to prevent me from... Okay, so yeah, they do attack me this turn, which is not too bad. Oh well, thankfully we have both our stage 2s down. The good thing is we draw into a time now, and that gives us the option of having a 3rd attacker that is not Pichu, right? And at least we used all our 3 lives, and it's nice we got Gladeon that I think, yes, that guarantees us Silvally the next turn. Considering they take out, I'm anticipating they take out this Altaria out. Yeah, they do. But they deal, this Arceus does 130 damage, so they're hoping that I don't have. At this point, I mean, they're desperate, I guess. I mean, they're desperate. No, I don't guess. They are desperate, and they're hoping I just don't have Gladeon or Silvally. So once I throw that Silvally, the Gladeon out, the opponent should just surrender. Yeah, there we go. So dark type deck, is this going to be Dark Tina? Dark Tina is pretty much back. I feel that I've been facing a lot. If it's dark type nowadays, it's just Dark Tina, which is kind of lame if you ask me, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, here we have Swablu, we have Altaria in hand, and we have the Swablu, so we definitely just pump it. I didn't want to draw any cards because I didn't want them to red card me. or like give them a reason to red card me. So that's why I just, you know, didn't draw it. So I should be using my research here. Yep. Well, I kind of think that I didn't need to put it out, the Swablu out, but you know, yeah, that's fine too. Especially because I know they can't attack this round. It gives me the option of putting it out here if I get Sabrina. Not Cyrus, but Sabrina. Yeah, that's GG. They needed another basic, which they didn't. So this deck obviously thrives in this kind of environment where if your opponent just can't draw a second basic in time, it's GG essentially. Yeah, I just decided to go all the way. I didn't want to put the, because okay, I have Altaria for the Swablu now and the Silvally for the time now. I didn't want to put the time now out yet in case I, you know, I want to see what my cards draw in the following turns. Okay, here, because I was preparing to go into Silvally, I don't like the idea of putting my Mantyke out, and because Swablu has damage done to it, it could have gotten Cyrus, which I did not want. So that's why I got ready. I started to prepare my time now, but yeah, so this is another case where red card screws your plans up big time. Because now I have only the Altaria, but thankfully I drew Silvally and I'm able to start attacking. So here I'm not too concerned because again it's two Melcera's which will maximum deal 20 damage to me. Sorry, 60 damage to my Silvally, which I'm not. That means yeah, it would. I mean the only way it's gonna take a point here is if they have a Cyrus, but they don't. They just researched. So I was, you know, just ready to put my Silvally out. I most likely am going to prepare my type now, I think. Okay, we'll see. We'll have to see the energy on the that gets generated the next turn to see which I'm going to put out. So here they're preparing a Celebi, which is kind of okay. So here we do have two different energies, so we could go into a Altaria. Again, I think I just don't like the idea that my Altaria has damage on it. So here we use Gladeon, and we can, I think we use both Gladeons. Okay, never mind. So we just take out Sprigatito here, and a Celebi here is really weird for me. I mean for the opponent, it's kind of weird for the opponent to go for, okay, yeah, if he had gone to risk it for the Melcera, he would be in a better spot right now. Not game winning for sure, but in a better spot. Because here Silvally takes the 40 damage. It just goes back into my hand, and the chance is I'm just going to, you know, deal 100 damage again. Yeah, so that's GG. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, the opponent's decision was tough because I'm sure they did not have a Melcera. I mean, they did not have Melcera or the rare candy in hand. But I don't know. I think so. You have to bet. You have to bet you're gonna pull it because Celebi in this case, it was 70 health. It wouldn't. Yeah, it's not gonna be able to survive much. So you just have to kind of bet on that Melcera if I was in that position. So here it's awesome that we start first. Against Suicune you need as much advantage as you can, but okay, they're not playing the standard Suicune Greninja deck because they have Dragonite most likely gonna go into a Dragonite. So here you want to control your bench as much as possible because you don't want to give Suicune any attack advantage. And that means if the Suicune would attack me at this point, the maximum he could deal is 60 damage if he had one more bench. And that's kind of like, that's bad for our deck anyway because we don't run a cape and our maximum Pokemon health is 120 damage, so 2 hits either way is going to take out either Pokemon. But the good part is that it's only 2 hits. They can't one-hit KO anything other than our babies. They can't one-hit KO our attackers. So they do draw into cape, which is annoying for us. It means that we need to draw into a Silvally here, but we're not gonna. We also need 2 hits. Let's hope I get Silvally. Yes, so at least that gives us some outs. Because I think the opponent most likely runs a Leaf in this deck. Most likely, if not a Lyra. Because for Dragonite, you generally want to play at least 1 Lyra, not 2. They have a Leaf, so we're gonna get attacked for 60 damage this turn. The next turn we don't have a choice, but we have to put something out because we have to start building that Pokemon. I'm not even sure if I win this game, honestly. Oh yeah, I think I do. Because the opponent had a weird deck. Like, why are you playing Dragonite? I guess he needed to start off with the babies, and then Dragonite would be fine. But in this case, he is most likely only going to be attacking with 2 badly injured Suicunes. Well, okay, semi-injured, but so thankfully here we do have our Altaria in hand. I don't think I put out anything. I don't put out the second. Yeah, I don't put out a bench at this point. So we'll see what he gives me. It's a sticky situation because they can't put out Suicune even if they have Irida, because that would put this Suicune at 100 health, which I guaranteed I'm going to deal 100 damage. So I mean, if anything, the opponent's giving up at this point. Yep, that's GG. Alright, that's all the games. Yeah, I think this deck is worthy for climbing. To be fair, I think the meta has evolved a lot, and there are a lot of good decks out there right now, like Espeon. Did we face an Espeon in this? No, we didn't face. Yeah, we didn't face an Espeon in these games, I don't think. Right, I don't think we did. Yeah, we did not. There's a lot of Suicune for sure, but Espeons, this deck does well. Most of the time you're gonna win majority of your games, obviously not all. Against Suicune, again, it depends on when and how fast they get their Greninja. Overall, a good climbing deck, I would say. Not as OP as the old days where we had Oricorio, Zeraora, and Silvally. You know, the mix of all the few. Is this better than babies? As in baby baby Orivali? I don't know. I don't know. I do feel that Oricorio is a bit underwhelming at the moment, at least. If you were to ask me, not by. I mean, we had Oricorio for a while now, and obviously people are more attuned to build decks around it. And most decks now, at least the top tier decks, are ready to deal with Oricorio in a decent fashion, where most of the time Oricorio is countered in most decks at least. So I think that this gives you another option where you have more health to play around with. At the same time, it's a huge threat because you're dealing 100 damage with all your attackers. Oricorio only does 50 damage. Obviously, you get the block advantage where you don't get hit by EXs, but again, almost every deck is ready to deal with, you know, Oricorio. So yeah, anyway, I think it's a good deck to climb with. Have fun trying it.